For over 70 years, the legendary B-52 Stratofortress has ruled the skies as one of America's most iconic and enduring aircraft. But now NASA and the U.S. Air Force are taking things to an entirely new level. Imagine this: a nuclear-powered B-52 that could stay in the air for months, maybe even years, without refueling. Sounds like science fiction? Not anymore. The B-52 Stratofortress first took flight in 1952. Yes, 1952, and it's still going strong. With an impressive range, massive payload capacity, and incredible adaptability, it's no wonder the Air Force plans to keep them flying until the 2050s, and maybe beyond. But what if we didn't have to refuel them at all? What if we pushed the B-52 into a whole new era of power, nuclear power? Back in the 1950s and 60s, the U.S. actually did experiment with nuclear-powered aircraft. Projects like the NB-36H Crusader carried nuclear reactors on board, but those reactors never powered the engines directly. The dream was always there, but the tech, not quite ready, until now. Thanks to advances in small modular reactors, SMRs, high-temperature materials, and radiation shielding, NASA, alongside the Department of Defense, is revisiting that dream, with eyes set squarely on the B-52. NASA's Nuclear Propulsion Division, mostly focused on deep space missions, is now looking at terrestrial applications. At the heart of the idea is a compact nuclear thermal propulsion system, adapted for high-altitude flight. Think, a reactor the size of a trash can, but with the power to drive a bomber across the globe without stopping. This isn't your grandpa's radioactive death trap. These next-gen designs are safe, efficient, and incredibly durable. Built with solid fuel reactors and advanced containment, the systems could operate for decades with minimal maintenance. While NASA brings the tech, the U.S. Air Force brings the legacy. Together, they're exploring hybrid concepts. B-52s retrofitted with nuclear-assisted engines, using nuclear power as either primary or backup propulsion. These aircraft would be nearly impossible to intercept, able to loiter over hostile zones for weeks on end. Strategically, game changer. Logistically, it slashes the need for global refueling bases. Environmentally, less carbon-intensive than fleets of tankers. The advantages are stacking up. Of course, not everyone is on board. Nuclear-powered aircraft raise big questions. What if one crashes? How do you safely dispose of spent reactors? And what about international treaties? The tech is solid, but the politics? That's where it gets tricky. We're entering a new era where strategic deterrence meets atomic innovation.